Please be patient with me in this video. I'd like to start off by saying that I'm not a perfect man. I have my faults and I have my flaws. I'd like to acknowledge that not all men share the same vision and not all men share the same values. And as we go through our paths in life, we experience the world and the challenges that it throws at us in different ways. I acknowledge that that's not easy. But just as I'm willing to acknowledge that that's not easy, I'd also like all men to acknowledge that we share a common function, an important common function. And that common function gives us a place in our families, in our societies, in our peer groups, in the work environment, gives us a place amongst our friends. So what is that? What are those functions? What is that function? Well, those functions for me are, as a man, you need to give identity, number one, to your loved ones and to your environment. Number two, you need to provide for your loved ones. You need to provide in the environment that you're in. Number three, you need to protect your loved ones. You need to protect the environment that you find yourself frequently in. Number four, you need to cultivate and improve. Everything your hands touch should cultivate and improve. And number five, you should bless and uplift your loved ones and your environment. So, the word of the Lord says, God created you a helpmate, a perfect partner, a counterpart, somebody who would come and help you give identity, provide, protect, cultivate, and improve, bless and uplift. So this perfect helpmate comes along and she needs her identity. So tell me, how does beating her help her identify with you and your vision? Tell me, how does beating her make her feel like she's provided for? How does beating her make her feel protected? As a matter of fact, beating her separates her from you. Instead of feeling protected, she feels exposed. How does beating her cultivate her? How does beating her improve her? How does beating her bless her? How does that uplift her? She sits somewhere hiding the scars. She hides from you. She hides from the public. She hides from herself. She's lost. Brother, you're losing your function. Men, we are losing our function, and we need to take our functions back. These functions are not words that I just brought up on my own. These are words that I find constantly in the text. And if you want to know what the text is, I'm talking about the Bible. I find it constantly in the text. We're losing our function. And we cannot say, because you didn't do it, you don't own it. Let me tell you something a little bit so you guys can understand where I'm going with this. If I beat my wife and you don't come to her rescue, She's not only afraid of me, she's afraid of the ridicule she'll receive from you, making her further hide, making her further feel unprotected, making her further feel unidentified. So, if you don't do it, doesn't mean that you're improving the environment. Doesn't mean you're improving our function. It means you're helping us to lose our function. So that's why for the men who don't do it, it's important that you step up and that you help and that you identify that she needs help and that you protect her and that you provide solace and comfort for her. It's important. Who will improve her? Who will cultivate her? So, brothers, we are losing our function. We need to go back into our communities. We need to go back to our loved ones, and we need to get our functions back, or we're going to lose our community for good. Enough's enough.